Hello Internet, welcome to my studio. I made one of these a couple years ago, but I figured it was about time to do another one. The Modular Synth is a fairly complicated instrument. Each module is made by a different manufacturer and you have to connect them manually. The end result is that you have to learn each individual section and know how it affects the overall sound. It's pretty nerdy, but I love it. The Fender Rhodes 54. It's a relatively rare model, and I got it off of Craigslist for basically nothing. They had no idea what it was worth. Next up is the Yamaha CP70. It's a real piano with a pickup inside, so you don't need to mic it. It was originally meant for touring bands, but with the rise of digital keyboards, this 300-pound beast can sit quietly in the studio. I also have a Wurlitzer 200A, which is relatively similar to the Rhodes, but it's slightly brighter. Here's a Fender Deluxe Reverb head. I love the reverb tank on this thing, even if it's slightly noisy. The Roland Juno 60 is my desert island synth. I love this thing. The DX7 is essentially the 80s in a box. Next up is the Korg MS-10. Manufactured in 1978, it features a whopping 1 oscillator. It makes up for it with one of the most unique filters out there. It cuts through everything. The Minimoog Voyager XL is the modern version of the holy grail of synthesizers, the Model D. I also have a 1973 Univox Mini Korg, not to be confused with the Micro Korg. For recording guitars, I use a Riviera ISO cab, and I use a little Vox AC4 for amplification. The Neumann U87 is arguably the most versatile mic available. My signal chain is somewhat bloated and complicated, but it works for me. It starts with Ableton Live, then goes through a UA Apollo, an Antelope Orion 32, into a Rascal Audio summing mixer, which is then fed into an API 2500 and a Clariphonic. For a computer, I use a Mac Pro with a stupid amount of RAM, SSD in the works. For monitoring, I'm using the SE Monroe Eggs. There's also the OP1, a real 808. You can sample it all you want, it's not the real thing. The Omni Chord is a pretty fun writing tool. The Gibson SG is my go-to guitar. I absolutely love this thing. I've had it since I was 15 years old. The Fender J Bass is a bit of a workhorse. It has a bit of a reputation, and deservedly so. When I think about it, I love the process of recording music just as much as the music itself. Creating something out of nothing is something everybody should experience. Though it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the gear makes the music. I used to think, if only I had this synth, things would work out. The truth is that the gear is nothing for you. You still have to write the songs. On some level, I do feel that gear can inspire. There's something to be said about the tangible physicality of it. I personally feel more connected to my music because of that. With that said, a kid with a laptop can make something that has more impact than anything I've ever accomplished. I mean, gear is fun, but songwriting is a craft. Anyway, thanks for watching.